Hey guys, it's Gina with YA Fiction Freaks, and I have a book review on Abandon. Sorry there's a glare because I got this from the library, so it's got the glossy stuff on it. But it's Meg Cabot Abandon, and I love this book. This was the first Meg Cabot book that I've ever read. I have her Mediator series. Well, actually, just the first one, but I hadn't read it. Any other time I'd picked up a Meg Cabot because she did the Princess Diaries, which I love those two movies that came out, but I don't really tend to read kind of like girly books, chick lit kind of books, and I always thought that Meg Cabot was that kind of writer because I guess of the princess books. But this cover always drew me. If you see there's the whole thing right there. But this cover always drew me, whether I saw it online, on Amazon, whether I saw it on Goodreads, on my Kindle, when I was shopping around, in the bookstores. This always drew me. I always wanted to pick it up and look and see what it was about. And it always sounded interesting, but I always put it back because I thought, Meg Cabot haven't read anything that she wrote, and again, I thought maybe it'd be girly. So, but this cover didn't look that way. So I kept kind of thinking about it. Well, I finally saw it at the library a couple weeks back, and I thought, I'm just going to get it. And I thought that way, if I don't like her books or whatever, if I don't like it, then I'll just take it back. Well, so I got it home that day, and I thought, okay, this was like a Friday evening, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to read like a page or two. And then I'll see how I like it. Well, I read a page or two, and then I just kept reading, and I read chapter 1, and then I read chapter 2, and then, like, I was totally hooked. I couldn't stop. The book's really pretty, even on the inside. It's got, like, little flowers, and it's gold, and then each chapter, this is kind of cool, and then each chapter has, like, a little verse of Inferno, and then each chapter has these flowers, so that's kind of cool. And the first line is, anything can happen in the blink of an eye, anything at all. 1, 2, 3, blink. A girl is laughing with her friends. That's like the very beginning, so I thought that's kind of cool. But that's actually the prologue. Let me read. I'll read the first sentence of the actual first chapter, which I really liked. Once I died. So you're like, oh, what the heck? And you just keep reading. So I really loved it. I've heard on a few of the reviews, some people say that it had some slow parts. I don't get that at all. I didn't think there was any slow parts at all. Because it takes me a while to get through a book, it usually takes me at least a week or so to get through a book. This is only like 300 pages or so, but still, this would have took me longer if it actually wasn't as good and as such a page turner as it did. It has 304 pages, and when I started this on Friday evening, and I got done on Monday, I think. So that's like really fast for me, because I loved it so much. To me, again, it wasn't slow. It has some true history too about an um, island of bones, and why that is, and that's kind of cool. But and then a few other people said that it was kind of confusing to them, and I didn't really think it was. Of course, this is what sparked her idea for this book was the myth of Persephone and Hades. And she said she was always kind of interested in that. And actually, I'm not into the myths, and that's what she said. I'm not really kind of into the myths, but Meg Cabot being she. But she was always intrigued by Persephone and Hades, and I actually was too. I always thought that was a kind of a cool story. So when I found out that's what it was about, which this sparked the idea, this is not another take or like a retelling of a Persephone and Hades story. It's actually just that's what sparked her idea to write it. So it does. Maybe it gets confusing for some people because there are like it talks about the underworld and death deities and um, talks about near death experience that this girl has. So I don't know if maybe that's why, but I know there are some things that you don't figure out until towards the end, but that's part of the suspense and the mystery and what makes it a page turner. So I give it a 5 out of 5. I love this book. I would recommend it. And if you are like me and you've never read a Meg Cabot book, I would suggest starting with this one because, like I said, it has made me a fan of hers. Now I want to read everything she's wrote. I actually went, me and my daughter rented the Princess Diaries movie and watched it the other day. And then I think I found out there's like 10 of those books and like 2 or 3 little novellas that she did with that series. And I think I'm going to actually read all of those. And then she has an adult series, a vampire series called, the first book's called Insatiable. So I'm wanting to get it. But right now, I got Meg Cabot, Airhead. And this is actually a series that she did. The next one's called Being Nikki, and the next one I think is called Runaway. And I'm already right there. I just got it a couple days ago, day or two ago. I've been really busy with work, and then today I had some stuff to do with my daughter's cheerleading. So, but every chance I get, I'm trying to read it because, again, I'm really liking this one. It's got like a mystery to it, and it really takes off. And I really like her books. And see, this is one of them that I thought I'd never pick this up because it totally looks like a girly chicklet book. And I wouldn't have picked it up. But since I read this one and I know they're different, that's why I got that book. So I'm loving it too. I do want to tell you that I even Sunday, I got this finished on a Monday, but Sunday we went to an amusement park with my family, and I was actually, while I was waiting on some of them, I took it in my little drawstring bag that I had on my back, and I got this out every time I could and was reading while everybody was talking and laughing around me, and sometimes I was reading because I loved it so much. The one negative thing that I could say about this book, and I don't know if that's her writing in general yet, I'm not sure, which I got used to it. Probably about a fourth way into the book to half, I got used to her writing. But it's hard to explain, and maybe I can find a sentence. Well, here's one, and this might do it. This sentence here, when she got home from the library and called for me, then looked around and finally found where I'd disappeared to, she was the one who dove to the bottom of the pool and pulled me out. So it's, and see, the real sentence is when she got home from the library and called for me, she was the one who dove to the bottom of the pool and pulled me out. But in the center of that sentence, it says, then looked around and finally found where I disappeared to. I don't know if that's a great example of that, but she has long sentences, and a lot of times there is a different thought right in the middle of a sentence. And so, like, it'll be comma, it'll be like, it'll say start a sentence and then it'll comma and then there'll be a long thought in there and then it'll comma and finish off the first part of the sentence. So sometimes I had to go back up to the first part of the sentence and put that together without the thought. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. If you read a lot, you probably understand. So I'm not sure if that's her writing, but after I got kind of used to it after a while, and it was no big deal. So I really love her. She's got a great personality. I've looked up a few interviews and stuff online, so she's got a really great personality, and I was really happy because this is now called the Underworld series, and book 2 is Underworld, so, and then there's going to be a third book. So go out and get this. I really recommend it. So, gotta go, guys. Happy reading.